You want to close more leases, right? I know you do, because we all do. But frankly, there are hard ways to close leases, and there are quick and easy ways to close leases, and I prefer the latter. Hey, my name is Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Leasing University, the #1 sales training for leasing agents and property managers in the world. I encourage you, please consider subscribing to this channel. And more importantly, after you hit that little subscribe hand or the word subscribe, hit notifications so you can be notified when we're going to be dropping more information that's going to help you close more leases. Well, right now, today, right here, I'm going to show you 7 insanely quick ways to close more leases. Whether it's through our online training portal or my Leasing University live events, I get to work with so many leasing agents and property managers. And I want to show you right now on this video what's working in today's property management market, in today's industry, when so many things have changed with our renters and our apartments. Number 1, focus on them. Your prospect cares about one person. And that one person is not you. So you need to focus on them during all of your conversations. So we need to change those interactions with our prospects to focus on them and not ourselves. Listen, most leasing agents and property managers are spending 90% of their time focusing on talking about themselves. And when I say themselves, I mean their property, their location, their amenities. The fact that they're a LEED certified green community. They're just going on and on about themselves, and they're not tailoring their conversation. They're not curating their presentation to be 100% focused on the prospect that's in front of them. Change the focus of your conversations from your features and amenities to completely on your prospect. And when you do that, you're going to find that your prospect is going to be so much more likely to engage with you and share that critical information that you need to close the lease. Number 2, share current resident stories about what's working and what's not working in the marketplace. Listen, you have an amazing bird's eye view as to what's important to people living in your market, what's important to people living at your community. So if you have covered parking and you're in Oklahoma where it tends to hail, make sure you share those stories about, wow, you know, our current residents felt so blessed that they had that covered parking when we had the storm last June. Not everybody was that fortunate, and they experienced a lot of damage to their vehicles. Make sure that you're sharing those stories that put you in the position of the expert when it comes to living in your marketplace, and most importantly, the expert when it comes to being able to communicate why your current residents, the people that are living at the apartment community now, are so happy about the choice they made. Tip number 3, I want you to make sure that you're engaging your prospects with questions about them. Listen, if you're asking your prospect about questions regarding their challenges, how long is it taking you to get to work? What's going on with your current apartment? What do you love about it? What would you change? What are some of the challenges that you're having in your current living situation? When you ask them questions like that, they're going to be far more likely to open up with you, and they're going to build that level of trust with you that you have now become their trusted advisor that's helping them bridge the gap between their current situation and their ideal situation. And you're going to be able to establish value in deciding to lease with you. And it's going to be so much easier when it comes time for you to go for the close. Tip number 4, I want you to begin asking these questions about their challenges right from the beginning, right from that very first phone call, the first time that they call the community and you interact with them. You need to know exactly what to say, how to say it, what to ask, and how to ask it. And listen, we teach this at Leasing University if you have any problems with this. But you need to establish right from the jump that you're in a hurry to help, that you're going to be different, and you're going to be focusing your questions and your conversations with them all on them and helping them solve their challenges. Tip number 5, I want you to make sure that you're digging in and learning the cost of these challenges. So many times, our prospects, when they come to the apartment community, they may have a vague idea of their challenges, and when we ask them the right questions, they start to really key in on what's important to them. But it's hardly ever that they meet a leasing agent, a leasing consultant, or a property manager that's willing to spend the time with them and establish the cost of those challenges. So when they say they want to move a little bit closer to work, I need you to dig in and figure out what that means to them. We teach you how to do this at Leasing University, but what does this mean to you in terms of your drive? How are you getting to work right now? Are you taking the train? Would you like to be able to walk or take your bike? Are you sitting in your car? How much time does it take you to sit in your car? Is it an hour? Is it an hour both ways? What are the impacts of having to sit in traffic for that hour in terms of cost of your fuel, cost of your times? Have you been late to a meeting at work? Have you missed your kids' baseball practice because you were sitting in the car? Listen, great leasing agents and great property managers that close the lease, well, not only do they determine those challenges, but they start to identify the cost of these challenges. That's why they don't get a lot of pushback when it comes time to close the lease, because they've established so much value above and beyond the cost of the rent that leasing the apartment just makes sense. Tip number 6. And I can't tell you how many leasing agents and property managers miss this tip because they haven't had the proper sales training. Always, always, always go for the close. Even when your prospect says, hey, I've only got 5 minutes and I just need to run up and measure the closet, or I just need to look one more time at the fitness center, or I just had these 2 simple questions and I wanted to call you about these questions. Every single time you interact with your prospects, you need to go for the close. You would be amazed at how many leases you are currently leaving on the table right now where all you had to do was go for the close. And if you don't have a very simple, not pushy, not salesy, not manipulative way of going for the close that works in just about any situation, works in any market with any apartment at any price point, if you don't have that system that's easy to learn, easy to practice, easy to rehearse, well, that's why you're not going for the close. We teach you how to go for the close in a way that is not pushy, in a way that doesn't make you feel high pressure, that works about every single time at Leasing University. So if you don't have your own closing system, I encourage you take a look at ours. It works. Finally, tip number 7. Always establish a next step. Listen, one of 2 things should happen with every single interaction that you have with your prospects. Whether that interaction is on the phone, via email, via chat, or hopefully right there in person at the apartment community. Those 2 things are this: you either need to close them and get that lease, or you need to establish a next step. So I don't care what they're throwing back at you. I need to think about it. I've got 4 more places I need to look at. Hey, I need to make sure that my brother-in-law looks at this because he's a general contractor and I want him to, knock on the walls to see if they're thick enough. No matter what that prospect throws at you, you need to be trained in a way where you're able to deal with it. And every single action or interaction with your prospects results in either you signing a lease with them or you establishing a very clearly defined next step. They're going to come back in, they're going to bring their brother. You're going to follow up with them at 4:17 p.m. today because they said they were going to look at a place at 2 and another place at 3. You need to have a simple sales practice that teaches you how to establish those next steps. And you're going to find when you establish those next steps that most of those prospects will end up closing their lease with you because your competition is just not doing this. I can't stress this enough. Our job is challenging. Our job is difficult. But our competition out there is doing a terrible job. The bar is set so low for us. So if you have the right skills when it comes to answering the phone, handling those questions, always going for the close, learning about your prospects, establishing next steps, well, you're gonna close so many more leases than everybody else out there. Listen, if you're struggling right now, chances are it's not your location, it's not your price, it's not your amenities. It's not the fact that you don't have a saltwater hoverboard dog wash. Chances are it's your sales training that you don't have a system. Listen, please consider checking us out over at Leasing University. That's exactly what we do, and we do it for thousands of leasing agents and property managers. You can see their testimony. Here, I'll put a link to their testimonials right here. I hope these 7 tips help you. I hope you've subscribed and hit notifications. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to reach out to me. You can leave comments and questions right below on this video. I read every single one of them, and I will respond to every single one of them. My name is Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Leasing University, and I'm your friend in leasing and life. Until the next video, I want you to be great, and I want you to get those leases. I'll see you soon. The way people rent apartments has changed. Today's renter has access to more information. Today's renter has more choices. The apartment industry needs you. Studies have shown that moving is the most stressful life event. The old sales training, well, it just doesn't work today. I'd like to teach you how to take the stress out of leasing apartments in a way that's meaningful to you and your renters and get you 7 times more leases. I'll show you how the perfect leasing process works. I'm gonna walk you through everything from answering the phone to closing the lease. I'm gonna show you how to determine your prospects' wants and their needs so that you can build value in your apartments. You will learn how to handle any objection or complaint. I'm gonna show you how to connect with your renter so it's easy for them to rent with you. I've taught the best property management companies and thousands of people just like you how to lease apartments. Property management is complicated. I'll simplify it for you. There's more competition than ever before. I'm gonna show you how to be number 1. All of a sudden, your career, it's gonna make perfect sense, even if you've never worked in sales or property management before. And for the advanced property manager, I'm gonna show you how to take things to the next level. Leasing University is a new, simple, step-by-step process that's effective. We're gonna help you become a rock star in property management. I'm Matt Easton, and this is Leasing University.